Hello everybody. So last time I posted pretty long videos about kind of a versus the Subaru Forester versus the Lincoln Town Car. The car that I love and the car that I guess, I mean, I like it. It's still, one of our family cars. And it does get approved by most of our family members. So this video, I want to make it much shorter, and this is going to be I'm going to make a couple much shorter videos where I'm going to talk about what I like about the 2016 Subaru Forester and what I don't like. And I'm going to start with what I do like, because once again, although it's not a car of my dreams, we bought it using our heads versus using our spirit or using our passion or anything. And like I said, my wife couldn't care less about what she drives, but there's definitely several aspects that I do like about this car, and I do drive it. When we go all of us together, we take this car 99% of the time, and this car maybe the other 0.5% of the time, and then the other 0.5 is that we'll take another family car that somebody's picking us up. So but there's still plenty of good aspects about this vehicle. So whether I'm an SUV or crossover guy, doesn't really matter. I still can appreciate some of the benefits that this car does offer. And I want to start off with the overall capability of this vehicle. Now, keep in mind, this is not a Jeep Wrangler. I think last video I mentioned that this is a Japanese, very base Wrangler. I mean, I use that term loosely. Obviously, the Wrangler can outcrawl this thing and can outperform this thing in any kind of off-road. But having said that, for a very, very basic off-roading, and more precisely is driving it in the snow, because honestly, that's what we bought it for. We don't go off-roading. I mean, if you see where we live, we have plenty of paved surfaces. We live in a condo where, the only kind of off-roading we do would be in the snow. And anybody who buys an SUV in the suburbs, of any suburb, and we're in northern Illinois, thinking that, oh yeah, we're gonna go rock climbing in this thing, we're gonna take this thing off road. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So what I love about this car is how it handles in the snow, which is very sure-footed. It's an all-wheel drive system. It's permanent all-wheel drive. I wish there was a way of turning it off, but the bottom line is it's an all-wheel drive, and this will handle in the snow much better than this thing will handle in the snow. Which this handles okay. This handles fine. I can handle it. This handles exceptional. So I do like, so if I had a choice, in the deep snow, take this or this, I'm sorry, but I will have to take this. And I think most people will agree that having that all-wheel drive, does make sure that the car handles well, it's stable, doesn't lose traction, and I love for it. So the second thing I want to talk about is visibility. Now, Lincoln Town Car has good visibility, don't get me wrong, but this, I think the visibility is much better, and all of it thanks to these giant windows. When I first sat in this car, and I'm just going to call it a car. I'm tired of calling it an SUV or a crossover, I moved from a Buick LaCrosse. And when I first sat in it, especially opening up the giant sunroof, I was like, oh my God, this thing is like a fishbowl. You could literally see everything out of it, including this very nice red color Chevy Impala that my neighbors drive. But I was like, oh my God, it's like 360 degree. I felt like I was looking, out of a periscope and, even out back. It does have backup camera, but, nobody needs it, because the bottom line is the visibility is great. The windshield is great. These pillars are pretty thin. I think in a Buick LaCrosse, they were quite beefy, and plus they had a speaker, I think, somewhere in here. So the visibility is pretty good. And yeah, I enjoy it. Like I said, especially in bad weather where you're kind of, you're stressed out. Oh, look at all the fuzzies flying around. Oh, they're coming back. And yeah, so the visibility in this car is great, and we do call it in the family our little, fishbowl on wheels, because ultimately you can see it a lot better. The next thing that I do like about this car is that it's basic. It is definitely not gonna overload you with any sort of technology. I mean, I can handle technology quite well, but I can sense that maybe some other people, and I don't mean my wife, but I mean other people can get overloaded. So this car, it has all your essentials and nothing more. So for example, because it did come out in 2016, it does have a backup camera, and I think it is standard on this trim level, which is the premium. I think in 2019 they became required by the government. So in 2016, it was just part of the option. All right. It has all your basics. So once again, it has the traction control. It has obviously your heat, your AC, all your basics. It does have the heated seats, which I mentioned last video, that you can leave them on, and with a remote start, it will heat up for you. It has the cruise control. It has a little bit weird controls right here for the display, but the bottom line is it has all your essentials. It still has the CD player, which we've probably used a couple times. The rear view mirror that automatically dims, that panoramic sunroof, which, like I said, we do like, but like even having it open right now, it's really hot in the car, but having that thing open without a tint, it's even worse. So it does have a bunch of little creature comforts. Whoa. Dropped my phone there. That makes this car usable for what we use it for. It doesn't have some very super fancy settings. It doesn't have stuff that we don't use. It has just about pretty much everything, including those power seats. Actually, the power seat is only on the driver's side, but that's the important side. And yeah, like back here, nothing major. It's lacking a little features, but I will cover those in what I don't like video. But it has all your basics covered. And also, which leads me to the next point, is the next thing I like about this car is a pretty big trunk. It's a compact crossover, but inside here, including the, if you fold the back seats down, which we would have to remove the child seat, but we've done it a couple times, carrying larger items, it can fit quite a lot of stuff for a compact crossover. And you can see our giant oversized brush. It's a leftover from the last winter season. But yeah, the opening, me being 5'11", I can walk right underneath it, barely touching my head. It doesn't have the power trunk. That's reserved for more upper trims. But yeah, the trunk space is pretty good. Now, I don't know who has more trunk space, the Lincoln Town Car or the Forester. But I can tell you this much, with the back seats folded, I know that you can fit a lot more in this versus that, because the back seats do not fold and there is no pass-through. Here, you could fold a half of a seat or this larger piece, so the 60/40, you can do either one, and it'll be good. So the trunk space is definitely pretty good. And then the last thing I think I want to talk about is the gas mileage. It's a 2.5 4-cylinder. I'm not gonna lift the hood. I showed it to you guys last time. There's really nothing crazy underneath there. And for a little compact crossover, also known as a car, it gets pretty decent mileage. Now it's not exceptional, but it's obviously better than that. So that thing, I'm lucky if I'm averaging 19.5 on a good day. This one, 24, 25, something like that. On the window sticker, I know it had the official numbers, but I think on our displays, I think it was somewhere around 24, 25. So definitely gets better gas mileage, and including that all-wheel drive. So I do like it for that. Now, once again, which one would I pick if I could only have one car? Yeah, I would pick that one, just because I feel much stronger, and much more emotional about it. But in general, as a pseudo owner of this vehicle as well, I like it. I drive it in the wintertime with pleasure, especially when there's a lot of snow, and I do feel good about it. And yeah, I would if somebody wanted to get a little crossover like that, I would definitely recommend this one because it's good for what it's worth. Wasn't very expensive, which I guess I could add. Okay, why is that guy in the background? Why is he staring in a trash can? Anyway, sorry, my neighbors are weird. So I would definitely recommend to anyone who's looking for a little one of these. Now, there's plenty of competitors. There's so many competitors right now that obviously everybody has their favorites, from a Honda CR-V to Toyota RAV4 to Nissan Rogue. I mean, you see all over the place, even to the larger cousin, which there it is. The neighbor is driving that, which is the Outback, and then there is a Mazda variant. What is it? Mazda, I don't know what it is, Mazda CX-5, I think, or CX-3, one of those. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this to anyone looking for one of these compact crossovers. And for the price we paid, I think I mentioned that last video, $24,500 plus tax. Yeah, it's pretty affordable. I think prices did go up since 2016 because you get a lot more features now. But in any case, I think it's good. If you guys have any questions about these Foresters, especially the older one, 2016 being this one, yeah, by all means, shoot in the comments. I am on track to get to 100 subscribers pretty soon. Thank you for all your help and support in the comments. I love it. And I will see you next time.